What up, what up, what up? So this is mostly just for me, to be honest. Kind of stuck in the house. Supposed to be going to an MSG show today. WWE house show, Madison Square Garden. I live in New York City, and stuck in the house like the rest of you guys. So I figured let's just, if I'm gonna be stuck in the house, let's watch In Your House. Just getting started right now. Get the time code in the top right. That's for the official feed on the WWE network. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you how to watch it. If you have another site that you want to use, feel free. But the time code probably won't match up. Now, this is an interesting pay-per-view. I've been watching wrestling since I was like 6 years old. And this, I'm not sure what year this was. Let's see if we can figure out what year this was. I was probably like 10 when this came out. Let's see. First one, let's see. No, I was like 13 years old, 12 years old when this came out. And the premise of this first one, the reason they call this In Your House, and this might have been the idea for every single one, but the first In Your House, they gave away a house. I don't know how much it was worth. In my head, it was like $100,000. It was six figures. In my head, it was like $100,000. I don't know. Maybe it's just because at the age of 13, I don't know the first thing about how much houses cost. But they gave away a house. There was like a sweepstakes you could enter, and they kept doing these shows In Your House. Like this was the first one, and then after a while they started getting subtitled. But I don't think they gave away a house every single time. But you know, that's still pretty crazy. You know, like if they gave away a house right now, even like, you know, a little McMansion or something like that, or just like honestly like a fabricated house, like a double wide, anything, that would be a pretty big deal. Anyway, so we're getting started right now. Let's see what we got right here. Oh, this guy. All right, so if you guys haven't been watching as long as I've been watching, you're probably not going to remember Hakushi. Like, he was such a blip on the radar in, like, the grand scheme of the history of WWF, WWE. But back then, I don't know what it was. I don't know. It's like his look was obviously very different. Completely covered in tattoos, fake tattoos, I'm assuming, but just like kanji, like up and down his like back and his front and his torso and his face. And this guy was doing like flippy shit back in like, was this like 1995? You know, like WCW was starting to do stuff over on Nitro, but WWE was still like the land of the big old plodding slow dudes. And so this guy shows up. And on top of that, obviously he's a heel because back in like any time before 2004, really, if you're not a white American, or you know whatever, let's say if you're not American, there's a pretty good chance that you're gonna be a heel. This guy, just out here looking like Tekashi 6ix9ine with the tattoos. Wild. Oh, Todd Pettengill with the mullet. I feel like Joey Janela kind of took some of his look from Bret Hart, don't you think, with the glasses? I mean, all right, that's the only part of his look that he might have taken from Bret Hart. This dude looks angry. it's kind of wild to hear Michael Hayes uh, playing the character Doc Hendricks, being like just like a regular play-by-play guy with Vince McMahon. Excuse me, a regular color guy with Vince McMahon being play-by-play. Like, kayfabe was alive and well back then, man. It's a different world. Modern day kamikaze, they call him. I don't know if they can make heels like this anymore because so much of Hakushi getting heat is like straight up predicated on xenophobia. Like, people hated him because he's Japanese and he's scary and, you know, whatever. Japan, they're evil. Asians are evil, you know. I don't know. At that age, like, I don't think I was like consciously aware of that, of the racism, of the xenophobia, but he was like a good heel. And I felt like he was a good heel. Like, even me not being that type of person, I don't think. Vince McMahon on play-by-play is like, it's a trip. Like, especially when you know what he's actually like behind the scenes. Because, like, people always tell stories. There's been so many Vince stories about the way he acts. But you kind of only hear about them from, like, Attitude Era and beyond. But presumably this is just the way the dude has always been. So he's playing this, like, white meat, babyface, play-by-play announcer. He's probably still the same dickhead in the back. Look at this guy. That's scary, man. For 13-year-old, especially in 95, we weren't seeing stuff like that on like American wrestling shows. What was his manager's name? The dude with like the all white, like almost like geisha makeup. What's this guy's name? Akio Sato. Is it Sato? Sato? And he was in the Orient Express. Like, that's like a little bit before my time. I'm guessing it's probably before all y'all's time. These arm drags. Bret Hart, I find, oh man, I don't know. I liked him when I was young. I appreciate people that say he's one of the best or the best, or, you know, somebody's favorite wrestler or whatever. I think he was almost like a looter in a riot. Like, he was better than everybody else, because everybody else is doing trash, you know, and that's worth something, you know, not to like to completely take away from his accomplishments, but people didn't work, and he did, and appeared when nobody else worked, and that means something. Like, right now, I don't know where he would rank in the hierarchy, because I mean, even if you like ignore the Hangman Pages of the world, like the big dudes that are doing like shooting star presses off of the apron, right? Forget that. That's you know, it's hard to factor that in, but other dudes his size, like the Finn Balor's and the Seth Rollinses of the world, or actually probably, I don't know, maybe a little bit bigger than him, but where would he rank? Like, if he started in the 90s or the 2000s instead of in the 80s, you know? Where would he figure in? Would he still be as revered? Because his, like, I don't know, I feel like his real, like, ascension to the top was because he was doing stuff right after the period. We basically got a whole bunch of Big John Studs and King Kong Bundys and Hulk Hogan's and big dudes who were, like, their thing was they're big, and that's it. Like, they're larger than life, but they kick and they punch, and that's pretty much it. Oh, they just showed Jerry the King Lawler watching from the back. I guess this is around the time they had a feud. I don't remember how it started, but they had like a really long feud. And he's just like in the back, like yucking it up, just like giddy that Hakushi's getting one over on him. It's crazy to me. This guy has been on TV. This is, let me say, it's 1995. This is 25 years ago. And he's basically playing the same character from 25 years ago. What is that? Like, how? How is that possible? In your house, in your face. I gotta get this out of here. Oh, now Sato, right? Sato. Let's get in there. Look at this guy. Look at him. How is it not a meme yet? How's this not a meme? This is basically, what is this, like the whole country Italy when they saw they got Pornhub Premium for free, right? Hakushi kind of, I was just saying all this stuff about Bret Hart, like being like kind of like an innovator and like, the kind of credit that he deserves for that, or, whatever, if you want to be pessimistic and distract from him. Like Hakushi's kind of the same thing, like I said, he's like a scary ass heel, but work-wise, people weren't, in this country, we weren't seeing the kind of stuff he was doing. Like he was doing quebradas and moonsaults. And I don't know how big he was. He doesn't look like a small guy. Like he's at least Bret Hart size. It's kind of hard to tell with his freaking like hammer pants that he's wearing. But he's not small. Might be short, but he's not light. He looks heavy. One of my favorite things about Bret Hart is so freaking underrated. The way he hits the corner when he's being whipped into the corner, both front and back. Like for everybody else, it's like such like a soft landing, but with Bret, it always looked like this shit hurts. And if I was more cynical, I'd probably think about it and be like, why does it hurt for him but nobody else? Like it just makes everybody. You could look at it as it making everybody else look so fake. But for Bret, it's just like he's always working. He's always working. Everything he does is telling a story or like selling his opponent's work. Oh, I forgot. Doc Hendricks is a little bit of a heel color commentator, right? I mean, I guess that was always the formula, right? Vince McMahon, the babyface, with a heel, Jesse Ventura, Bobby the Brain Heenan, with Gorilla Monsoon. Oh, little diving headbutt by Hakushi. Classic Vince McMahon. He got him. He got him. Oh wait, no, it was only two. I can't believe how long we lived with that, and everybody was just like, yeah, like he got him. I guess we were just all okay with Vince McMahon, like calling a match as done when it obviously wasn't done. He did that for like his whole career as a commentator. We're right up in the 5 moves of doom right now. It's funny, the 5 moves of doom also include like 4, 5, obviously like unsuccessful pin attempts. How did we go so long being okay with that though? Like, I'm gonna sing Brett's praises till the day I die, but his 5 moves of doom, like, I mean, John Cena does it and we shit all over him. Bret Hart does it and it's just like, oh hey, Bret Hart and his 5 moves of doom. Like, it doesn't tell a story, It's not like it's so robotic. And if I'm sitting here and I'm Hakushi, and he hits me with the the side suplex, I know he's going for the freaking sharpshooter next, or the bulldog, whichever one was the last one, right? Whatever that one was. Bret Hart just just clothesline Hakushi, and he just flipped inside out, which is like, we see that so often today, but in 95, I mean, I don't think once a year, maybe twice a year. What? Bret Hart just suicide dive. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a Bret Hart suicide dive before. I just saw a video the other day of a John Cena suicide dive. This was about as graceful as that. Oh, wow. This thing that. All right. Bret Hart and Hakushi just did that suplex spot. It happened in AEW recently. I remember it happened in 205 Live with like Drew Gulak and Cedric Alexander. Everybody like creaming themselves over this move like they'd never seen it before. And I just saw it in 1995. Hakushi with the Cabrata. Actually, excuse me, the Acai moonsault. That stuff is Look, man, I'm sure there's some nerds out there that are watching, collecting tapes from FMW, from Japan, from All Japan, and seeing stuff like that. But little kid growing up in the South Georgia, nah, that was wild. This is a good match, man. I remember this being a good match too. Like, fuck knows what I know when I'm that age, but it was a good match. And Brett just pulled it out. It's hard to tell with the crowd noise. The mixing's all different, but he sounds like over his shit right now. We just said 1 down, 1 to go. I think Brett had 2 matches on this show. I don't remember why though. So he opens the show, and maybe, I don't know, maybe he closes the show or something like that. I know he did that at WrestleMania 10, but like I didn't know that he did this here too. I don't remember that at all. I don't know why this happened. Oh, Bret Hart just hurt himself coming out of the ring. Okay, so now it's setting up the story for his next match. He came out of this match, kind of unscathed or whatever, but now he actually hurt himself. Interesting. Doc Hendricks, you should have been shot off. Ooh, got a little 1-900-7374 WWF. The London Blaze, Todd Pettingill with the mullet, Jerry Lawler, and who is that with the London Blaze? Dudes are looking. Anyway, let me not be swampy right now. Stephanie. Who is this? I don't remember this. I heard you hear Stephanie on a WWE show. You think it's McMahon, but this is another Stephanie. She's talking about the house they're about to give away. I totally forgot about her. I don't know who she is. They're showing the police escort for an armored truck. For what? We're bringing a house. $340,000 entries. They just showed a big old vat of envelopes full of all the people that wrote in for the sweepstakes to win the house. That's wild. Double J. I love this guy's look, man. With the roadie. Check this out, man. This spot right here. That's 1995. They did this. So the guy right now on the phone Sean Waltman, at this point known as the 123 Kid. He was supposed to be tagging with Razor Ramon in this match because it's going to be Double J and the Road Dogg, or whatever he's called, the Roadie at this point, I think, still against those two. And he's injured or something, I don't know. And so now it's Razor in a handicap match. I actually forgot he was on this card when I put this on. I miss these old call-in bits, man. They used to do this on Raw all the time, where somebody would be calling in. You know, who knows? They could have been in the back as far all we know. But during the show, they would have a call-in with somebody. It's like, oh, we have Shawn Michaels on the line, and he's talking about whoever's in the ring. It's similar to when they have somebody guest commentating, almost always a heel, when, like, you know, somebody they're working a program with is having a match. Ooh, it's Mother's Day. Just wish Mama Ramona happy Mother's Day. This Razor Ramon song, man. I was talking with somebody earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, about greatest themes of all time. And, like, I don't know, it's hard with nostalgia. But I feel like this has got to be on the list, right? It's like so simple. There's no lyrics to it or whatever. And I'm sure, like, I don't know if it's like man makes the clothes or the clothes make the man with this. Just feels like, I don't know, man. Listen to that, man. There's not that much flavor, that much soul in WWF in 1995, man. So it's supposed to be a handicap match, but they're both in the ring right now. How does this work? Jeff Jarrett, man. He's got some beautiful hair. Look good. Looking good. Let me try that again. Looking good. So Vince McMahon just said we haven't seen the Roadie in action. So I guess this is his actual. This is Road Dogg's debut match in the WWF, WWE. Hey, Razor Ramon, man, it's making moves. Yo, why? All right, why? I think that's Mike Chioda with a whole ass mullet. All right, man. Look, I know mullets were a thing, but I don't think they were a thing like this in 19 freaking 95. This is this had to be crazy looking, like Todd Pettengill and Mike Chioda. I think it's Mike Chioda. I can barely recognize this dude because of this mullet, this hair. Nope, that's him. I could tell by just the way he counts. This is Ah. If you weren't around or like conscious during the 90s, everything you see in here is probably going to upset you style wise. It's horrible. It's all horrible. Oh, and now he's in. Hair, man. Between Road Dogg's dreads, Double J's like Goldilocks, and Kyoto's mullet, I don't know how to deal with the hair in this match. Kyoto count like he's smoking crack. Goodness gracious. There it is. There it is. Wait a minute, ref. Sorry, I got a little distracted trying to get a screenshot of this guy, this baby right here. Look at this hair. Look at this hair. Oops. Yeah, that's hard to see. I don't know, man. I'm not usually down for I don't know. White people with dreads, kind of weird. But these aren't dreads though. These are braids. This is okay. It works out okay. They're like strawberry blonde braids though. It's like the most excitable person on TV as an announcer. This doesn't seem anything like his personality. I don't know. Like, he's playing a hell of a character. Mike Chioda's counting like it looks like a fast count, like an intentional like heel ref fast count. It's like his same style though. Like every ref has like their own like mannerisms for counting, and it's the same. It's just like sped up. Racked him. There's a dude in the front row, like kayfabe only, trying to get the crowd behind Razor. It's interesting that Razor Ramon is. I mean, he's like very clearly a good guy here, and I mean, I know all the steps that went to getting it that way, but my guy is basically the WWF Scarface. Like, it was never outright said, but it's clear if you're over the age of like 16 at that point in time, 17, that he's basically playing a Cuban drug dealer coke dealer from Miami. Not even coke dealer, like kingpin. Like, between Razor Ramon, the drug lord, Godfather, the sex trafficker, I'm wondering like what was going on in Vince's personal life. Both good guys. He looks really green too, Road Dogg. Like, this isn't like great for a baby face well, it's better if it's a baby face, I guess, to be able to hold his own against two wrestlers. But, you know, at this point, we're supposed to believe he can't, Road Dogg can't wrestle. The Roadie can't wrestle. And he looks like he can't wrestle. Like, maybe he's just that green. I don't remember what his history was before he got here. I mean, I know he has a military background, but I don't know how long he's been wrestling before 95. But he looks horrible compared to what he ended up being as, like, Road Dogg and DX. He can, like, barely move. Like, it's obvious that it's, like, move to move setups are, like, not fluid at all. Like, not much psychology going on, and there's a lot of flying moves. Like he got away from that pretty quick. I don't know if it's weight gain or what, but or just, you know, trying to figure out what works for you. He's out here trying to be a luchador. It's not. It doesn't look good. It ain't it. This guy, yo, the selling on Jeff Jarrett of just like, even like punches. Like, first of all, I don't remember Razor Ramon being this fast. He's flying. And his punches are like, I don't know, maybe like he has the classic like super worked punch with the stomp that like I don't remember anybody doing it better than him or more blatantly than him. If you could actually, I don't know if it's possible to put both of those together. But his shit looks good when Jeff Jarrett is selling it. go. Figure 4 from Jeff Jarrett. He's calling for it. He's putting it on. Nope. Kicked out of it. Razor Ramon. Knocked the roadie off the apron. I love this move, man. The Razor's Edge, that crucifix powerbomb. Nobody does this anymore. It's so good. I heard, though, I think maybe the reason they don't do it is it hurts like bad. And watching it now, having heard that, I get it. It is hard to take that. It's like getting your ass blasted. Yeah, that is probably not fun. Live from Syracuse, New York, he says. Yo, this fan in the front row, these fans, they know they're they're like on the same side as the hard cam. They know where it is. They're barely even watching the match. Oh, Jeff, what's going on here? Oh, okay. So the roadie came back in. Razor Ramon's like, hey, you can get some too. But he gets saved by Jeff Jarrett with the clip. And now he's probably gonna get the figure 4 put on him. Yep. There we go. Doc Hendricks is loving this. It's so weird how... Oh, what is going on here? What? Aldo fucking Montoya. Looking like the color palette of In Living Color. Portuguese Man of War. Just incredible. Out here, immediately gets his ass whooped. Wow. Rody just took out Razor Ramon's knee in the least believable way I've ever seen before. And now here comes Savio Vega. Is this his debut? They're like, who is this? Who is this guy? They got no idea. It's Savio Vega out here in a sleeveless, like, checkered shirt, tucked into some black jeans, whooping ass, and like they're just like, oh, who is this guy? So, I mean, are we just thinking like this is a fan doing this? You got referees in the ring, security. I guess that's what they're gonna sell it as. And these dudes, the dudes in the front row are losing their fucking minds. We have no idea who this is. He has no business in the ring, says Vince. Here's the police, says Michael Hayes. So yeah, we're just a rando is what we're supposed to think. This was Savio Vega's debut? I did not remember that at all. And now they moved on talking about King of the Ring now. What? What is this? I don't remember these promos at all. They've got dudes on horses fighting with swords. Jousting. That's how they sold King of the Ring? Like medieval times? Dudes in copper mugs drinking while they watch the show. Oh, looks like we're getting about to get a Sid match. That's pretty dope. Sid, man, back then, everything about his look was freaking scary. Like, this is the time, like I said before, like, everybody was a freaking giant, but he just had this look. I don't know, it was a combination of, like, the height and the hair and that jawline. He looked nuts. And so here, he is, I think he's like Psycho Sid, right? And then I think he was Psycho Sid Vicious, and he was Sid Justice in WCW. Psycho, I believe they spelled it without the P. S-Y-C-O? S-Y-C-H-O? I don't know. Got to protect that IP, right? I don't know, man. He played unhinged pretty good. I guess that's what we can say for Sid. So this is Sid and Diesel. Is it happening tonight, or are they talking about the future? It's so weird. I think, yeah, it must be this match, right? It must be a promo package for this match. Brand new Bret Hart t-shirt. Yo, man, if I could find one of those right now. Fully sublimated Hitman shirt. This looks freaking incredible. 1-800-TITAN-91. Let's call it. 1-800-TITAN-91. Wish. Bret Hart okay? Oh. Now here comes Men on a Mission. Or actually it looks like, yeah, Oscar. Is that Oscar or Mo? That is Mo, but he's not wrestling. It's just Mabel, who looks like he's in a freaking glitter fat suit. That shit's crazy, man. He's so big. I don't know how he lasted so long. He looks so unhealthy. Now check this out. This is the King of the Ring promo. This is just part of it. This is how they sold King of the Ring. Oh my gosh. Okay, and so this is Mabel in a King of the Ring qualifier against... Who's he against? What's going on here? Adam Bomb. Oh my gosh. This is incredible, man. I loved Adam Bomb, man. Something I guess like I think I just had a type. I was like almost like Vince, man. Like the big jack dudes. When I was that age. From like 8 to 16. That's what I was looking for. I don't remember how he turned face though. It might have been one of those things where it just had to happen because he was so impressive. I think he had like Johnny Polo as his manager as a heel. This is interesting. They had King of the Ring qualifiers on pay-per-views. Now, here's the interesting thing. So these In Your House matches was like, they were kind of the start of WWF, WWE doing like monthly pay-per-views. For the longest time, it was like 4-year, 80-year maybe, tops. And then they started slipping in these second-tier pay-per-views. And so it's almost like the way WCW was doing Clash of the Champions on TV, right? So they were like mega shows, they were super shows, but you know, they weren't pay-per-views. They were very rare, and they were promoted heavy, and there would be big title matches and title switches and stuff like that. And that's kind of, I guess, what In Your House was like. Now this first one, again, all the marketing was around like how they were giving away a house, but it was a pay-per-view, and I think it cost less. Like it's probably like $20. I think the other ones are probably like 30 or 40, like the regular ones. WrestleMania being like 60, 50 or 60. But even on a pay-per-view, to have a qualifying match for another pay-per-view, and this is probably, I believe, this would be the first King of the Ring. When was the first one? Or, you know, the first one in that modern era. Let's see when it came back. No, this is like the third one. Okay, it came back in like 93. I should have known that, actually. 95, though, this might have been the one... let's see. This one right here was won by Bam Bam? No, that can't be right. Won by King Mabel. King Mabel. Oh man, forgot about that. Wow. It's a spinning heel kick by Mabel. Looked more like he just fell down. Squashed the shit out of him. It's over already. He's getting the shit boot out of him. So actually, maybe, you know what? Men on a Mission were heels at this point, weren't they? I forgot about that, because they were never really heels to me. But yeah, this dude's snarling like a heel. Oh, here we go. We got Pettingill with the mullet. Razor Ramon, I guess, also with the mullet. And there's a guy, and they don't know who it is, but it's Savio Vega. Say hello to Savio Vega. Forgot he came in as Razor Ramon's boy. Razor Ramon. So how do they explain this? Because Savio Vega is Puerto Rican, I think, and Razor Ramon's Cuban, right? I guess, you know, whatever. It's all the same. What we got here? Oh, smoking guns. Why is Jerry Lawler? There's Jerry Lawler stomping in the ring. He's not fighting them, is he? He's gonna interrupt. What's his problem? What's he mad about? Is he fighting Bret Hart later tonight? Maybe that's why he was like so into the Hakushi match. Because he wanted him to be softened up for himself. Ooh, I hear. Sounds like Yokozuna. Is this Yoko and... There's Jim Cornette. Yep. It's Yoko and Owen. Yo, this is freaking... What a great time period, man. and they're they're champions too. This is like, man, the Yokozuna Owen Hart tag team era was incredible. More mullets. I don't know who this ref is. He's got a mullet. I think both of the Smoking Guns have mullets. Billy 100% has a mullet. I feel like I want to say they're the first ones I saw wrestling in jeans consistently. I'm trying to think of who came. Maybe there's another cowboy gimmick before them. Dusty Rhodes, maybe WCW, Wyndham's. Yokozuna is freaking, oh my god. He's disgustingly large. That shit is not healthy. It wasn't healthy. Obviously, he's not healthy. Holy crap, man. I don't know how he could move at all. Like, they kayfabe wrestler heights and weights all the time. I think they announced him as over 600. He had to be over 500. He's huge. He's so big. It's freaking crazy. Got some good tag team stuff going on here from the Smoking Guns. Bart Gunn, man. He looked like he was going to be the star of the group. And I guess backstage everybody knew that he was the toughest guy. But I mean, Billy Gunn's still out there, still doing his shit. Look how big this guy is, man. I mean, crazy. On Art, to me, Stat Guy Greg would kill me if he heard me say this, but it's my favorite Hart. I mean, it's close. I can't say it's not even close. It's definitely close, but he just could do everything. Like, he wasn't even really allowed to do everything that he could do. It just didn't really fit like the style of the WWF at the time. So he was basically like, even like the handcuff version of him was like more interesting than pretty much every other dude in the WWF. And he had like he reinvented himself so many times. There was like the white meat babyface version. There was the mask version. There was like the kind of like goofy tag team partner version with Coco Beware. There was the heel version. There was the heel tag team partner. There was a dude who was in the freaking Nation of Domination. There was like the cocky like 2-time Slammy award winning version. He's freaking awesome. And then the heel Heart Foundation version. I love that dude. All these referees, man, I don't know who this guy is, but he's counting just as fast as Kyoto was. Maybe this is just like I forgot that this is how they worked back then. I don't remember if the Smoking Guns were ever tag team champions. This is a title match. Womp womp. Looks away for a second, and that's a wrap. That's a wrap for the Smoking Guns. This guy's talking about giving Smoking Guns a great deal of credit. They just got squashed. Nah, I'm good. This is Diesel, probably when you would say Kevin Nash is in his prime, but his hair is definitely in his prime. But he's so reserved. So he's in his physical prime, but he's so reserved. It just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel right. Like it feels like a watered down, like drugged up version of Kevin Nash. Like he's like, I don't know if he wasn't confident or if he was told he's not allowed to have that kind of personality or what. Like he's supposed to be the big brooding, strong silent type, but it's not the same. Like without the jokiness, you know. This is like almost like, whatever. I saw this before, and when I saw Bret Hart hit that tope suicida on Hakushi, this is what it made me think of. They look basically the same. David. I got Jerry Lawler in the ring with this is Jerry Lawler with his mother, because Bret Hart, I think, dedicated, because it's Mother's Day, Bret Hart dedicated his match to his mother. This is hilarious. And now she's challenging Bret Hart's mom. I forgot how much like Jerry was like basically shitting on Brett's whole family for like months. Okay, so now I guess it's happening right now. Lawler and Bret Hart. Todd Pettengill, man, make him work hard. I don't remember there being this many interviews during pay-per-views. Again, I mean, I don't know if it's different for In Your House being like a second tier thing or whatever. Jerry Lawler's mom. Bret Hart coming out of here, faking the injury. Lawler's freaking out because he thinks he's facing like an injured Bret Hart. Time code is in the top right for anybody who's watching along. I guess later on VOD. It's just me right now, which is fine. I'm doing this mostly for myself. I think I said that before. I'll be stuck here anyway. Might as well get some reps in, right? This is like, if I'm like ranking Brett's feuds, like the Mount Rushmore. Well, all right, let's see. What's like the top like 5 Bret Hart feuds as like a singles guy, right? There's obviously Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, right? Vince McMahon was like never. I mean, obviously that's really the number one, but let's just leave that one out because it was never much on screen, you know, like until it was done. Like he had a little bit like early in '97 before the actual screw job where. Honestly, you could argue, a lot of people do now, that Bret Hart kind of ushered in the Attitude Era by the way he was acting around Jerry Lawler's mom. The way he was treating McMahon. He was like the first one to put hands on him, you know? But, you know, it doesn't really count, I don't think, as one of his feuds. So we got Stone Cold. We have Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is number 1, obviously. Stone Cold probably number 2. Honestly, I want to say Jerry Lawler might be number 3 as like a singles guy. I mean, did he feud with? I mean, he kind of feuded with Diesel a little bit. They are tossing pile drivers around in this match, like in a way that's like shocking to watch now, knowing what we know. Or like after Stone Cold got injured by Owen Hart, like they don't do them anymore because how dangerous they are. And I know this is a Lawler match, and Lawler is like, you know, king of the pile driver, but watching both of them throwing around so casually, like it's freaking moonsault in the modern day or something like that. I don't know. It's a lot. Anyway, Shawn Michaels number 1, Stone Cold number 2, Jerry Lawler number 3. Bret Hart singles feuds. I mean, if you want to make him tag team feuds, you can throw in what, like Demolition, I think maybe. I don't know who else the Hart Foundation went up against. I mean, okay, going back to singles. I mean, obviously Owen Hart, right? It's got to be like in the top 4. Like probably over. I don't know. Lawler was going at his family for a long time. It's like 3A and 3B, you know? I don't know. So that's a top 4, I think. I don't know what else there is after that. Like I said, maybe Razor, Ramon, not really. Diesel, Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund has to be over all those other dudes, right? Bob Backlund, But he was almost like Bob Backlund was almost like a transition temp to Diesel, and was there to serve the Owen feud. I mean, there's like some stuff with Yokozuna, some stuff with Hogan, but not really actually. This is Hakushi's manager is out here. Sato. That's how you say, okay, Sato. What are they doing to this referee? He's dangling by his foot in the ropes. That has to hurt. He's like hanging by the ankle, dangling outside the ring. And here comes Hakushi wearing a freaking is he wearing a do-rag? Do-rag Hakushi needs to be my new Twitter name. Yeah, I don't remember this at all. Jerry Lawler just pinned that is the slowest count you'll ever see. Bret Hart getting stomped on by Hakushi with the interference leads to Jerry Lawler winning with honestly like, I mean, they have a backup ref. Is this a backup ref now? I can't even tell what's going on here. But sorry, I'm laughing at Durag Hakushi. Hakushi out here looking like a 90s R&B star. So that was Earl Hebner tied up like that? He's too over that shit. Now Sato's getting smoked. Jerry Lawler going to celebrate with his mom. Bret Hart dropping some F-bombs on Earl Hebner. It's like some foreshadowing going on here. Guess we're about to get the Sid match now. It's a title match. I think I forgot that. You can't hear the Sid's man. He is such. I don't know if it would work today. I feel like it would work today, but his over the top, like mentally distressed character is great. It was great, man. I mean, his style of promos, like we make fun of his promos today, because of some misspeaks, but they're so good. Not as good as Durag Hakushi though. This guy. We doing the drawing now? Looks like it might be a drawing time. Hunter's Creek. I don't even know where that is. They spent so much time talking about this house, and I'm getting tired of looking at Todd Pettingill's mullet. I guess it's time to draw for the house. Got some big ass rakes. What are they doing? Oh, this is, I guess, to shuffle up the envelopes. This is not good TV, but I mean they have to do it. The whole premise of the show. Oh, okay. Actually, you know what? Okay, now it's better TV because I forgot. They actually are calling these people. Well, maybe it's kayfabe, but they're calling these people at home, live on pay-per-view. Oh, this is interesting. Let's hope they're home, says Todd Pettengill. These dudes like forget to dial 9 first or something like that. This is amazing TV. I take it 100% back. This is great TV. It's ringing. Matt Pompous. This guy. Yo, people are they're wailing on the phone. You win the house. And the crowd's going in on it too. Pending verification. They really had to say that? Not a joke, he says. Oh, they got pyro for winning the house. I mean, shit. A damn house on TV. A lot of downtime though. Is it time yet? Here we go. Now it's time for the main. This is the main event. How do you spell Psycho? I don't know. I think it's Psycho. Did I get that right? I think. Let's look at it. Yeah, I think I got it. Psycho's music was popping too, though. Alright. Let's get rid of this right here. We don't need this. Oh, and I forgot Sid's manager was Ted DiBiase. Sid's music, man. It's pretty good. It's good, man. Got any better, honestly. I cut it off for the good part. And here comes Big Daddy Cool, baby. And he's by himself, right? No, yeah. He's mad over too. Alright, that's enough of that. Oh, all types of pyro too. All the pyro. That was over as hell, man. I mean, I don't know. It's so interesting. I think it's getting some rub from Shawn Michaels and his look. Sid, holy shit, just did the Brock Lesnar jump up on the apron. I didn't remember that he was that athletic. It's way bigger than Diesel too. Man, sounds like he's about to have a damn heart attack. I feel like Diesel, he wasn't the first to do the step over the top rope move, but he definitely like popularized it. Like it was all part of like, I guess it's really like a total package thing with him, you know, like no pun intended. Like the Big Daddy Cool mystique was like a total package. It was a combination of a whole bunch of things. Sid is bigger and he's more athletic, and his promos, and I would argue, are better. And he has like about the same look or whatever, but there's no arguing how much more over Kevin Nash was, like right here. Like more over than anybody, like easily at this point in time. I feel like, right? Who else could it have been? Like I don't know if Shawn was around like right this period of time. I mean, Bret Hart is obviously super over. Look at this, man. Look at this. Like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. It's so crazy when you think about how much potential was like basically left on the table, because this dude had other interests. He just couldn't get his shit together between like the softball and like the freaking like fight with Arn Anderson. Sid, I mean, he's not even a Hall of Famer, but I look back on him as like one of the most believable scary giants that I've ever seen in wrestling. But ended up being basically a fuck up. And the thing that's most memorable about him is like some dumb lines that he had in a promo. The stabbing incident with Arn Anderson and his like really gruesome leg injury in that match with who was it, with Scott Steiner, I think it was. And it shouldn't be that way, you know? I wonder, like, if you had to rank, like, in this time period, like, the big men, like, I think these two were the top two obvious ones, at least in, like, WWF at this time. I'm not sure when Vader got over there. Vader, like, overall, like, get out of here. Like, to me, he was number one, period. Like, some people say Bam Bam. I guess, like, Diesel get his votes or whatever. Obviously Andre, King Kong Bundy, but to me it was like Vader, like easily. Bam Bam was up there too, but it was like Vader. Yokozuna, maybe, I don't know, like he's so big, he was crazy. It was crazy what he could do at his size, but he was too big to like really move. Like a lot of him was character, and a lot of it, again, going back to what I was saying before about Hakushi, a lot of it is like typical like xenophobia stuff. This dude was like, I think he's Samoan, I think, and he's playing Japanese. He was like Hawaiian or something. I don't know. But the combination of like with Fuji, like he had the program with Lex Luger, like the 4th of July, like Lex Luger suddenly like super patriotic stuff with like Hulk Hogan. Everything about Hulk Hogan back then was always about USA. But like, yeah, I mean, Sid, it's hard to put him that high up because of all the F ups, and yeah, such a short time on top. Diesel for sure. Mabel was like physically like one of the most impressive, but he can't fucking do shit. But these two are probably both top 5 in the 90s for dudes that size. I mean, there's like Adam Bomb is way down the list. I mean, who else is there even? Like, if you got to go back to like the 80s and stuff to get to the King Kong Bunnies and stuff. I guess Bam Bam is, I mean, main evented a WrestleMania, you know, more than maybe even 2. I think main evented, was it 12 with Lawrence Taylor? Was it 10? Oh my goodness. Sid just hit Diesel with a leg drop that would make Hulk Hogan be like, yo, what have I been doing with my career? Michael Hayes is like, I feel like he's going back and forth. He's like not doing like the clear, obvious heel announcer shit. Like I've seen him just like, he's just like arguing to argue. He's just like being an instigator. Like usually he's saying stuff that's like protecting the heels or in favor of the heels, but he's just saying random shit too. Like he was like getting mad at the Smoking Guns earlier for like not covering fast enough. He's a monster. This man is a monster. McMahon had some good sound bites. It's not really good announcer. You'd be good in like promo packages, like if you were clipping them. Oh, we're going for a power bomb. Oh, speaking of power bomb, totally forgot about the Big Show in the top 5 giants of the 90s. Easily up there. He's probably number 1 actually. I messed up. Either him or Vader for sure. Longevity wise, probably Big Show. But those are the top 2, I would have to say. And then after that is Kevin Nash. And then Sid's probably number 4. I'm trying to find this leg drop so I can clip it. Oh, Diesel, here we go. Snake eyes. Yeah, with the power bomb, and that has got to just happen. Why is Tatanka in here? We really ended a pay-per-view main event world title match with Tatanka coming in to stomp him out. It's like fucking crazy, even if you had the context and you knew like they were aligned or remembered or whatever. This is dumb. McMahon sounded like he's about to have a stroke. Oh, well, here comes Bam Bam. The other top big man of the time period. I mean, back then, people could really be happy about the face winning on a DQ and a pay-per-view time. Nah, man. That's crazy. That's not good. I don't like that. This show was okay. The match was actually not bad, but that's a freaking garbage in. Shouldn't be having, and again, I don't remember if this really felt like or counted like a pay-per-view back then. Because they were new and they were obviously a lower tier than the original Big Four, but I don't know, man. Like, it just doesn't feel right to end a show that people paid for, even if it was only like $20, with just like a random ass like DQ. I'm gonna go off there trying to sell another pay-per-view into that way. I had to just get this one last GIF in here before I log off. This is crazy, man. It's a disappointing match because of how it ended. But I mean, Sid, man, forgot about him. It's pretty impressive. Look at this. Look at the height he gets on that. I mean, he's tall already, but like, I mean, it's pretty much what jacked up Hogan's back. But I mean, that's not nothing, man. Anyway, that was fun. I think I'm gonna do another one Tuesday night. I'm gonna try to do the second one. Let's see, what was the second one called? So this is premiere. This is before they had subtitles. So this one was in May. This was around Mother's Day '95. The next one was in July, and it was okay. So it was a rematch between Diesel and Sid, but it was a lumberjack match, which, all right, so that makes sense. But you do that like in the main event of like Monday Night Raw, not in the main event of a pay-per-view, But and so I guess this is then a month after King of the Ring, which, like I said, it looked like Mabel became King Mabel in that match, beating Savio Vega. Anyway, so I say you guys, I know none of y'all join me for the live stream. That's fine, whatever. I'm going to try to get this. I got to get my YouTube set up properly, and I'll get this on there.